Match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense readying for their first possession, and it's Justin Herbert at the helm in his second season now out of Oregon.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. But Justin Herbert looking comfortable here in season number 2. He looked comfortable in season number 1 for that matter. But what's the game plan for defending and trying to limit him?
Oh, you've asked a really difficult question there because you're right. Year 1, he looked like a 5-7-year veteran, and he's only going to continue to get better. But with a guy who throws such a pretty...
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Another try after the first down sack. Herbert.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Gonna throw on third down with Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw... something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Time to see this Bengals offense here as they get set for their first drive. And under center, of course, is the #1 pick in the 2020 draft, now in year number 2, Joe Burrow. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Here we go. It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 22-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow on the move to his left. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon, and they're able to get this one across the 35.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea Slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And he rifles one incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
I can't believe they even let you play. 44's the mic. 44's the mic. Check, check. Hey.
2nd and 10 now, Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
44's the mic. 44's the mic.
Burrow will throw. And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Joey Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
Here's Herbert. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. We're scoreless after 1. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Burrow looking to pass. Rolling to his left. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a 1st down.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. That one taken in by T. Higgins. 7 yards, the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go.
On second down. Mixon, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Joe Mixon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 24, Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big time?
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White. And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. That'll go for a gain of 7. And they're going to have a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and 2, Herbert. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Again, Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. From just shy of midfield, Herbert. Open man is Palmer. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Herbert on 3rd down now. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Herbert. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The final shot before the break for Herbert. That's into the hands of Eckler. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things definitely getting interesting around the NFL as we begin the month of December. So let's get right to it. We'll begin in South Florida. It's not retirees or snowbirds, but it is New Yorkers traveling down to the Sunshine State. The Giants in town to take on Miami. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Daniel Jones throwing the football well. he has 3 touchdown passes. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they trail the visiting Colts as that one's gone to the intermission. The Colts trying to hold on and claim victory. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Amon-Ra St. Brown, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, to call it a defensive battle would be an understatement. 0-0 is our score. We'll be looking for something in that second half as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. After a rare scoreless first half, these teams now just looking for something as the second half gets underway. Brandon Wilson to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different.
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From the 30 on second down, Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now it's Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Herbert back to the air. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to...
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Austin Eckler who finishes things off with a touchdown run. Wilson now on the return. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground, mix it again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Burrow's throw into the hands of Sample. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. 3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. To the air again, Burrow, eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 30. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Steps away. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by the rookie Asante Samuel. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 31, Herbert. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Here's 2nd and a yard. A give, Eckler running to the right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run here with Eckler. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the 50, here's Herbert. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Herbert now. And Allen's got it. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 19.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete, and they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for only a couple. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Here's Burrow. Out to his left. Open man is Uzama. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 39. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Well, you can see what they were trying to do, just send those guys out there to make a play, but that is a costly interception.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backyard. Everybody go deep, and let's see if we can find someone. 4 verticals in the route. Any other time of the game, I love the call. But here, you're not going to hold safeties, you're not going to hold corners with any looks because they know what the situation is, ends up throwing the interception.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So Burrow and the Bengals down 10-0, 23 seconds to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Burrow on the move to his left. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the rookie Asante Samuel. And the Chargers are going to get the football back at their own 17. Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. And they will take a knee here. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And not all W's are created equal, CD. And this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. For the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket, and that's what they've got going forward.
So for the Chargers, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, They fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
I shall come forth as pure gold. Have you been tried in the fire? Have you been tried in the fire?